Good evening and welcome to the RunThrough YouTube channel. I'm Rich Morell and we are live from Newcastle tonight down at the Quayside for the Quayside 5K, a big fixture in the RunThrough calendar. Now what makes this race extra special tonight is that it's hosting the North East County Championships as well for the 5K road distance. So we will have a North East County champion crowned tonight on the Quayside over 5K. So I'm particularly excited about this race, and you might have seen me on a few of the RunThrough Top Flight Series races. This one is slightly different. This is not part of the Top Flight Series, but for you guys that are joining us on the stream that might be interested in some of the elite racing that RunThrough do provide, there is a Top Flight Series that is catered for elite racing, and that series is running throughout 2026. So we do have a fixture in May, the Chester 10K, and that will be an absolutely rapid race. I can guarantee you that, a new course designed specifically for quick time. So for you, those of you that aren't familiar with the Top Flight Series, it's a race of 12 races across a 2026 year. And in that, we will have time incentives, cash incentives for all the athletes competing in those. So if you are looking for some quicker races, please jump on to the Top Flight website or the RunThrough website, Top Flight socials, Instagram, Twitter, you name it, we're on it. Get on there, have a look at those fixtures for 2026. But importantly, to tonight's race, like I said, North East County Championships. So a title is on the line tonight. Someone is walking away with a gold medal around the neck and the title of North East County Champion, which is absolutely phenomenal and something that these athletes should be proud of, that they've been able to compete for, but also someone is going to walk away with that 5K road title tonight. Now, in terms of who we've got lining up, I'm going to bring up our graphic of some of our leading entries on the ladies' side of things first. So we can see Kate Maltby heads the top of the list, 16:03 on paper. Second down from her is Megan Stenhouse, 16:20 personal best over 5K. Now, Megan is in fantastic form, and for those of you that have watched some of our previous fixtures in the Top Flight Series and races across the board, Stenhouse is certainly one to watch tonight. We've also got Alex Snedden in there as well, the Jarrow athlete, Katie Francis and Poppy Buck. So those are our leading lady athletes that we've got competing tonight. They'll all be vying for that gold medal, that North East title. Now, on the men's side of things, again, good domestic county level quality athletes we've got lining up tonight. So we've got Sam Charlton, who heads the way with 13:56 on paper for the Wallsend Harrier. Now, those of you that are based in the North East, you'll notice some really familiar names on this list. Carl Avery, 14:02 on paper. Carl has been around for many, many years now, competing at the top level, previous national cross-country medalist, up there in the top 10 regularly, a real stalwart of British distance running is Carl Avery. We've also got Alex Brown in there, George Lowry, Daniel Bradford, and two that I'm particularly interested in today, David Green and Joe Firth. I've been looking at those athletes and I feel like those two could really make an impression on the field today. Now, in terms of the course itself, you know from the previous Top Flight fixtures, or if you've been down the Quayside, this is a rapid course because it's pancake flat. And I'll tell you something, the weather, for once in Newcastle, it is not bad. There is not a breath of wind out there. It's nice and still, it's calm, and it's pretty cool as well. So these lads and lasses tonight have got perfect 5K conditions, and we will cut over to the course shortly. But before we do that, I want to quickly bring the course records into play here because they are really, really quick ones. And this just demonstrates how quick this course is. 13:43 by Ben Connor set in 2025 and 15:42 by Lily Partridge in 2024. So that just demonstrates how quick that course is. Now we're going to cut over live to the Quayside because the athletes are starting to get around the start line now, and we can see the atmosphere is bubbling. There's a nice few people there in attendance watching the loved ones compete, or people just on their work commute home. But you can see from the shots there that it looks perfect for a 5K race tonight. So I'm sure the atmosphere is going to be absolutely bouncing. We're going to see some good quality racing here. Now, a North East title, it's not to be sniffed at, and I think it's really important that we've got this championship within one of these races because we can drift towards maybe the focus shifting always on times. What did you run your 5K race? And well, tonight someone's going to walk away and they're going to be saying, actually, I won it in this time, but more importantly, I took away the crown of North East County Champion. So we can see the athletes down in the start area now. We've got one lead camera on tonight. And that camera is going to take us out to the 2.5k mark on that lead bike, and then there will be a sharp 180 turn, and then the athletes will head back down the quayside and finish on the quayside. So like I said, it's an out and back course. It's flat as a pancake. These courses are picked for fast times, and this one is no different to any of the courses that the run-through team try and pick. Yes, you've got your trail races, you've got your marathon races, your longer distance ones where maybe these aren't the focus, but these kind of races, you know, the course is absolutely key, and the quayside, it's a fantastic venue to host a 5k race like this. So, as I mentioned, our leading entries, who have we got? So let's focus on the ladies' side of things. And as I mentioned, Kate Maltby, she was our leading lady entry, 16:03 on paper, closely followed by Megan Stenhouse, 16:20 on paper. Now, for me, the form seems to certainly be with Stenhouse. She's been racing regularly. She was top 20 at the Liverpool Cross Country European Cross Trials back in November. She was top 30 at the National Cross Country held in the Northeast earlier on this year as well. And she's been racing regularly over 10k and 5k distances as well. She won the Quayside 10k, the Newcastle 10k down at the Quayside in January. So for me, I think if Stenhouse is on form, which I assume she will be because everything suggests that she's building towards a good summer, I would imagine Stenhouse to be a really big player in this one. Now, on the men's side of things, Sam Charlton is the standout on paper, only just nudging Carl Avery to that top spot, but 13:56 for the Wallsend athlete there. That was a few years back now, and just judging by his recent performances, I'll be honest, I don't know whether Charlton is in that shape, and that's no slant on Charlton, just from looking at recent results. It doesn't seem to be that he's in the sub-14 minute territory at the moment. Now, whether he'll be able to produce that kind of run tonight, I don't think so. However, he's here, he's racing, he's going to be putting himself up there and getting in the mix. Now, Carl Avery, an interesting athlete, really strong athlete. He's got a solid marathon, sub-220 marathon under his belt from back in the day. And like I said, he's a strong performer on the cross country, having medalled in the national cross country, which is a phenomenal achievement. Anyone that can medal in those kind of races, they are quality operators. And Carl Avery is very experienced now. He's vet 35, but with that comes experience. So managing the race nerves, managing the race itself, managing athletes within the race. Those are all things that he's going to have bags and bags of experience of doing. So it'll be interesting to see how Carl Avery goes tonight. As I mentioned, Alex Brown in there, 14:17. Another athlete who looks to be building back into form, maybe not in that 14:17 shape, anticipating from recent performances. So we will see how he performs. We've also got George Lowry in there, another athlete who's on the build. He's on the rebuild as George Lowry. I've heard training's going well, so I'll be intrigued to see how Lowry goes this evening. And then we get down to Daniel Bradford, David Green and Joe Firth. And Joe Firth, for me, is someone I will touch on later on in this broadcast as we see the race pan out, but he is someone of particular interest to me. So we can see our race is well and truly underway, so we'll get our main camera onto you guys on the stream there. And I will be bringing you updates on the leaderboard situation because we have got splits mats set up throughout this race. So I'll be bringing you all the information I can do throughout this race. One thing I do want to touch on before we get into this men's and women's 5k races, we did have some junior 3k races on this evening down on the quayside. James Cathy took the win in the junior 3k in 9:18, closely followed by Alistair Johnson in 9:18 and Coen Brownbridge in 9:41 on the boys' side of things. And on the girls' side, Chloe Das took the win in 11:21, Jessica Gould 11:22 and Maeve Taggart in 11:46. So some quality runs from those athletes in that junior 3k section. So we can see our race is well and truly underway, and it looks to me like it's Mr. Carl Avery that's right on the front there. Like I said, the experienced campaigner, we can see the Morpeth Harrier vest there. So Carl Avery's hit this one hard, and he's on the front trying to control this race early on. I'm just shifting about in the studio slightly here so I can get a better view of this camera because this race is going to be an absolute cracker. So it looks to be Avery on the front there, and I think that's Alex Brown in second place, right on his shoulder. As I said, didn't expect Brown to maybe be in the form to challenge for the win on this one, but he must be feeling good early doors. So it looks like Avery on the front there from Brown. I'll bring you a bit more information on the rest of the pack as this race pans out. So Carl Avery, 29.58, 10k man. That was a Pulford in March. and top 20 at the Northerns. He's 14:02 personal best, which was set in 2019. Now, what I will say about Avery is season's best from 2025 is still really, really solid, 14:25. So if he's in any kind of shape like that today, he's going to be one who's going to be vying for that top spot. 100% is going to be vying for that top spot. Also in there, I did clock Joe Firth. Now, he was someone of particular interest to me, was Joe Firth, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, the progression that Joe Firth has shown since 2023 has been quite phenomenal, in my opinion. 32.47 for 10K in 2023. And he's drilled that down to 29.56. So he's knocked over nearly 3 minutes off his personal best in such a short space of time. So that's Joe Firth there, sat in second place. So we've got Avery and Firth there, locked in battle. We've got Brown in there as well. Avery, Brown, Firth, they're your top three, and they look, I mean, it's early doors in this race, but they look to be away a little bit here. There doesn't seem to be anyone tagging on the back of that pack now. As I mentioned, Firth, the Leeds man, he was the one to watch for me. 14:35 on paper. He ran the Jarrow 10K, finished fourth there. Newcastle 10K, he was sixth in that one as well. And he showed, like I said, real progression. 15:54 5K in 2023, down to 14:35. So Firth is someone that I'd be really intrigued to see how he goes today. And you can actually see that it looks as though he's made a move to the front now. So it's Avery still there on the front, Brown in third place, and it looks to be Firth that's pushing on now. And we're going to see this race pan out, and it's going to be really, really interesting tactics-wise about what these athletes are going to decide to do. Because Firth is obviously feeling strong. Avery is set out on a bit of a mission here, and I feel like Avery, an experienced athlete like Avery, is someone who can hit the front and know where his red line is, basically. And he can get out and control a race. And I think that's probably what Avery's fancied doing here. He's thought, I'm going to get out on the front, I'm going to control this one, and I'm not going to let the other athletes in that race dictate to me how this race plays out. And that is something that comes with experience. You imagine when you're in the junior ranks, you don't quite know where that red line is. Knowing where that red line is built up from years of training, years of racing. What Avery has done, and done really, really well throughout his career. He's just aware of where he's at in training, what his body can do, and that's why I think he's got out and he's making this an honest race from the off. Firth done the right thing, covered the move, and at the moment, Brown is in a perfect position, tucked in behind the two athletes. He can switch off, he can let them do the work. There's no issues there. If anything, he's getting a psychological break. And I'm really intrigued to see how Brown goes today, because I didn't expect him to go with this lead pack. Looking at the form that he's been in, I just, this is no slant on Brown as an athlete at all. Athletes go through ups and downs in their career, and Brown wasn't hitting that 14-17 PB form that he has done in previously. So that was a suggestion to me that he might not be in the shape. However, he's got out there and he's having a go at this one, and he's doing it smartly. He's letting them two other athletes in Avery and Firth take the wind and take the psychological strain. Now the course is slightly different this year due to some roadworks, pathworks that we've got going on the quayside. So Jason, our cameraman, is going to clock the athletes before they make their 180 turn and head back down onto the quayside to finish off this 5K. So I'm going to flick over to onto our leaderboard now and see if we can get some splits up for you guys watching at home there. So it was Joe Firth went through the 1 kilometre mark in 2:46 there. Alex Brown in second. Scott Capewell was up there as well. George Lowry also threw in 2:50 as well. So some real strong running early on. Sam Charlton threw there in just under 3-minute mark as well. See Michael Salter's name down in there as well, the Leeds City athlete. There's a blast from the past. And remember Michael Salter running 800-metre races back in about 2012. What a talent he was. So we can see the athletes filtering through into the back end of this first 2.5 kilometre stretch out. And then we will bring you live coverage at the front end of that race as soon as we get back onto that lead pack. I'll bring you a quick update on the ladies' side of things. It is Megan Stenhouse that looks to have taken this one out hard. 3:15 through the first kilometre there. Predicted finish time around about the 16:30 mark there. Jessica Eaton in second place, Katie Francis in third. They're all both around about the 17:10 mark there. So Stenhouse looks to be having this one all of her own way, to be honest. She seems, she took 10 seconds out of them athletes over the first kilometre. That is a big margin. So Stenhouse, she'll be coming home predicted around about the 16:30 mark at the moment. Now, the benefit that Stenhouse has got is with these mixed races, she's going to be able to nestle into a pack there and really try and switch off. And like I said with Brown earlier, switching off, psychologically easing yourself, clicking a few kilometres away, that is going to be key for Stenhouse in this here. And she's got a perfect opportunity to do that. On the men's side of things, like I said, it was Joe Firth who took them through the first kilometre, splitting that 2:46, and that was bringing him home on a predicted finish time of around about 14:02 there. So that would be really, really good running for a county champs 5K race that we've got going on this evening. We can see our lead bike starting to filter back down. So we'll get a good idea of what's going on at the front of the men's race here. I'm curious to see what's unfolded in that 700-800 metre section where we didn't have coverage there, because it'll be interesting to see how that battle's unfolded between the likes of Avery, between the likes of Firth and Brown there. And it looks to be that lead pack is still all together. And Alex Brown, you know what, he's made an absolute mug out of me this evening as Alex Brown. I didn't anticipate him to be in this position still at this point during the race. But, hats off to Brownie. He's having a real go, sat in there in third place. And Firth in the pack as well. And Avery, once again, back to the front, trying to control this. And this is something that I call boss moves in a race here. He is trying to be the boss. He's trying to dictate play to the other athletes because they're running at Carl Avery's pace now. They're doing what Carl Avery wants. And in some senses, that works for them because they can switch off. But equally for Avery, it plays into his favour a little bit there. He's making them work in a way that maybe they don't want to work. And he can put little surges in, little pushes in at certain points when he wants to during this race because he is the boss. He is in control. So really intrigued to see how Avery plays this one out now. If I'm Avery, I wouldn't be fancying myself in a sprint finish. I wouldn't be wanting to leave it down to the last 200 metres for a kick. I think Avery, knowing him personally and knowing him the way that he runs and his running style throughout the years, he will try and break these two runners down. He'll try and push away from them as they come into this sort of last kilometre, 1,500 metres to go. I think Avery will start grinding. And as I say that, I wonder whether there has been a slight surge there because Firth follows it and Brown, for the first time, looks as though he could be slightly detached from that group or maybe just working to stay with it. And there's a telltale sign there. There's a look over the shoulder. And any athlete will tell you, when you start looking over the shoulder, there's something going on in the mind. Subconsciously, you might not know it, but you're wondering, what's happening behind me? And if you're challenging for the win of the race, you shouldn't give a bother about what's going on behind you. So I think Brown there, psychologically, there might have been a little look there because there's, yes, I'm feeling this. And that probably is due to Avery starting to push the pace. Now watch this. The way that Brown made a mug of me earlier on, he's probably going to search to the front anytime soon now. But no, Avery still on the front looking strong. Firth tracking him. Like I said, Firth was the danger man for me. He showed the most progression from 2023 onwards. He's knocked in PBs every single year over every 5, 10K distance, half marathon distance from 2023 onwards. And he went sub 30 minutes for the first time as well. So on paper, he is the form man. Avery, on the other hand, is the man with experience. And Brown is the man on the way back. So still makes for an interesting race because Brown is still hanging on here. And it is all to play for. You can see them going past one of the big hotels on the quayside. They'll head down to this bit, across, down under the Tyne Bridge, down under the high level bridge, across the swing bridge area, and then they'll head towards the Millennium Bridge. Now the Millennium Bridge, they will cross that one. There'll be a slight incline and then decline on the other side there. It's quite a steep little bridge is the Millennium one. So it's one where an athlete who knows about it may time a move based on that. They'll come across there and the finish side is on the Gateshead side of the quayside. We can see Brown there. Another anxious look over the shoulder. I think Brown is really starting to feel this now. And I think Avery is stretching it. And Firth Firth looks really relaxed in second place there and almost pulling up on the shoulder of Avery. And I think, is this a move from Firth? It is. This is a move from Firth. He's not messing about. There's been a real injection of pace at that point there. And Avery has got to hang with it. If Avery wants to stand a chance of winning this North East County Championship title, he's got to hang on to the back of Firth here. But Firth looked really easy and graceful when he made that move there. But as I say that, Avery has done exactly what he needed to do. It looks like he's covered the move there. Brown doesn't look as though he's got any answers for this at this point. Will he rally in the last 400 or 500 metres? We're coming into around about, I would say, 600 metres to go, 500 metres to go. They're firing on all cylinders now. Firth is starting to stretch this one. Can Avery hang on? Avery has got questions asked about him. Can he answer those questions? He's tight on the back of Firth, and he's doing a perfect job of tracking Firth right now. And if anything, this is going to make Firth feel a little bit uneasy because he put the surge in and he hasn't broken away yet. He hasn't broken Avery. And if anything, Avery looks as though he's rallying again. And as if by magic, Carl Avery, the experienced campaigner, hits the front again. This is round for round. This is blow for blow action with about 500 metres to go now, 400 metres to go in this Quayside 5K. Avery wants the title. Avery wants to win tonight. He wants the gold medal round his neck. And he's doing all he can to try and stretch Firth. You can see them approaching the Millennium Bridge now. The finish is on the other side of that. The athletes will start a branch across. And Avery has stolen a yard here. And I think this is probably going to be a definitive move. Unless Firth can really rally in this last 200 metres, Avery looks to be running away with this one. Avery's looking good, he's looking strong, and I said the experience will ring true at some point in this race, and it looks to be doing that. And you can see again, Avery puts in another surge. He knows there's a steep incline coming up on the Millennium Bridge. He is streaking down this side of the Quayside, and I think Avery is going to take this one. Firth will have to do something really, really special in this last 150 metres to take this one. But it looks to be Avery is away. Firth in second place. Brown was hanging on to third place. But Carl Avery, the experienced campaigner, the man about town, the man about the tune, the Morpeth Harrier is going to take this one. One of North East's finest is back on the podium. And he's taking the gold medal. Carl Avery, hats off to you. A fantastic run. An experienced, a measured run. Brilliant running from Avery there. He takes the win. Firth in second place. And we'll see if Brown held on for third. Time-wise, we're looking around about the 14:30 mark there. That is a great run from Avery. It's a great run from Firth. And I'll tell you what, Alex Brown, fantastic to see him back there because that's a real strong run from Alex Brown as well. Sure, we've seen Daniel Bradford coming across the line there, 14:30 performer. Set that in Monaco back in February. It's a fantastic running from him there. He's probably around about the 14:45 mark. See those athletes coming across the line there, all sub 15 minutes. So the question is, what is now happening in the ladies' race? So Stenhouse was through 3.8 kilometres in a predicted finish time of around about the 16:40 mark. So slightly tailed off that early pace. I'll bring you some official results now. Carl Avery across the line, 14:29. That is a brilliant run because he controlled that one from the front. He'd done a lot of the work himself. Just shows how quick that course is, how good the weather is as well. Joe Firth, second place, 14:30 across the line. Alex Brown, 14:36. Hats off to Alex Brown. What a return to form from him. Zach Kettle, fourth place, 14:46. Lee Davies, 14:50. Lewis Liddell in there as well. Fred Davies, George Lowry, 14:57. We've got about 10 athletes sub 15 minutes there, so brilliant running from them. And we'll keep our eyes peeled on the front end of the ladies' race because I'm so intrigued to see what Stenhouse clocks tonight. She's been in fantastic form. She's been the long-time leader in this, absolutely. She's been the dominant force on the ladies' side of things this evening, has Megan Stenhouse. And like I said, she was through that 3.8 kilometres in 12:42. So looking for a clocking around about the 16:46 mark there, which would be a solid evening's work for Megan Stenhouse. Wouldn't quite be a personal best. As I said, 16:20 was Stenhouse's personal best previous to tonight. So I don't think that's going to go. But yeah, let's keep our eyes peeled for Stenhouse coming across the line. As I mentioned previously, we do have our top flight races as well on the go. So they do jump on our socials, do jump on our websites. We've got some big races on the horizon. We've got the Chester 10K at the end of May. May 24th, I believe, off the top of my head, we will be live in the studio. So that is our next top flight fixture. But all eyes on this finish line now. I've got the live results flashing up in front of me as well, so we will clock Stenhouse when she filters through into the finish area. I tell you what, that was a fantastic race to comment on. You know, you get these races every now and again that you really, really do enjoy commentating on, and that was really enjoyable to watch unfold and commentate on there. And I'll tell you why it was, because it was a race. There was a real battle there. There was real tactics in play, and a lot of people think at times, you know, there isn't many tactics involved in 5K road racing or in athletics. You know, I talk to people a lot about athletics, as you can imagine. They'll be like, oh, well, you just go out and run. Well, it certainly isn't the case, and we've seen there the way that Firth and the way that Avery handled themselves throughout that race. It showed that there is, you know, real tactics at play there. So, official results on the ladies' side of things. Stenhouse is across the line. 16:54 for Megan Stenhouse there. She goes sub 17 minutes, and she takes the North East County Championship title. So, gold medal around the neck for Stenhouse there. Solid running from her. You know, she's done the job. She's came and she's got the title, and that's what is important. Second place, Jessica Eaton. Fantastic work from Jessica Eaton there. 17:38. Brilliant running. Holly Lawrence in third place, 17:55. So those are your top three ladies, and they'll all take medals home with them. So we can see some of our athletes filtering through in that finish area. You can see how busy that finish area is. We've got a 10K going off this evening as well. Like I mentioned, we had the junior 3Ks on as well. So there's been a big atmosphere, a lot of bodies down the quayside this evening, and it's great to see that, you know, part of this big run and boom that we've got going on at the moment, that it carries with it plenty of athletes, but in turn you get plenty of support for the athletes as well. So we'll watch these athletes filter through into the finish area. So like I mentioned before, this is one of our run-through events, and if you are teeing up any potential races over the next few months, if you've watched this and thought, you know what, I want to get out and I want to run a 5K, then please do jump onto the RunThrough website or the RunThrough Instagram page. We have got hundreds and hundreds of events going on across the UK throughout the year. Different variety of races, road races, we've got trail races on the go. There's so much going on there. There's coaching links to this as well. We've got the run-through coach set up. So please, if you're interested in athletics or getting into athletics and you just want to get some casual running on the go or some casual races, then please jump onto the run-through website or our socials. Like I said, plenty of information on our fixtures, where we've got them throughout the Northeast, throughout the North, throughout the UK. We also do trips across Europe as well. So there is plenty of action on the go from run-through. So as we can see some of our athletes filtering through into this finish area, we'll wait till these athletes get across the line, and then I'll wrap things up for you this evening. Like I said before, the support that you guys give us on the channels, on the social media, on the YouTube channel, by liking, subscribing, commenting it, sharing our content, it really does help in us being able to put on these productions. And it's not often that you get a regular section of races being live broadcast from a studio for you guys. So if you do like this, then please do give it a like, give it a follow, give it a share, because all that kind of stuff is really important to us. Now it looks to me, from down live at the quayside there, that seems to be the conclusion of our 5K race, the Quayside 5K, and what a successful race that was. Fantastic atmosphere, like I said, plenty of bodies down there, and a phenomenal race on the men's and women's side of things. So for me, Rich Morell in the studio, it's been an absolute pleasure. And like I said, join us next time when we'll be back at the end of May for one of our top flight fixtures.